how are you doing? This week, I'm taking some time to talk a little about motherhood because this channel really focuses a lot on moms, right? Yeah, I created this channel specifically to help other mothers become entrepreneurs, but I also made it to share a bit about my own routine, about motherhood itself, okay? Today, this week, I'm taking some time to talk about motherhood. So I'm going to take a little break from marketing and talk about this because after all, Juntas na Rutina covers everything from my routine as an entrepreneur to my routine as a mom, okay? Today, I wanted to share with you a little bit about how my childbirth experience was. Why? Because I know there must be some mom out there who will come across this video and is afraid of childbirth just like I was, and we end up choosing a C-section. I have a friend who got pregnant at the same time as I did, right? And I remember she told me she chose a C-section because she was really afraid of natural childbirth. I recommended a video to her that at the time was a documentary. Today, you can watch parts of it on YouTube, but there should still be a way for you to find it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's available on Apple TV. It's called The Birth Reborn. I watched this video and it really affected me for two reasons. First, I was also choosing a C-section, but my obstetrician was very much in favor of natural childbirth, and she encouraged me a lot. And I was really scared because I had already gone through a miscarriage, I had already had a curettage, so I was terrified of natural childbirth, that something would go wrong and I would end up losing my baby. And this is a kind of superstition that exists among many mothers, right? And this obstetrician, she was amazing for me. She was essential in my motherhood. I believe that God brings purposes together, you know, and He brought her into my life, and thank God everything turned out fine. And I remember she told me, make a birth plan. That's a tip I want to give you as well. Make a birth plan, learn about it, look into humanized childbirth, okay? Humanized childbirth is nothing more than a birth in which the woman is the protagonist and her decisions are respected, all right? I chose a humanized birth, and I chose a natural birth. I made up my mind that I would have the birth the way I wanted, okay? So first tip, make a birth plan. It's a document you can find online, right on your computer. Just search for birth plan ideas, and you'll find some examples of birth plans, and I suggest you make one. Or you can do it with paper and pen. Write down like, I want this to happen, I want it to be done this way, I want such and such thing to happen. If you end up having a C-section as a last resort, I want it to be as natural as possible. I don't want induction, I don't want this, I don't want that, or I do want something else. You decide how you want the birth to be, okay? And that's what happened to me. I made my birth plan, the environment was welcoming, I chose not to have interventions, to stay at home, and only go to the hospital when Helena was really about to be born. And that's pretty much what happened, right? I only needed help when it was really time for her to come out. I got to the hospital at 4:20 in the morning, and I was in a lot of pain. And then at 5:30, Helena was born, but I say it was a process that started earlier. I followed on YouTube. Actually, there are some videos by doulas, you know, and I followed them because I couldn't afford to pay for a doula to be with me. So I decided to follow what the doulas were teaching. There's a doula named Sam Doula. She's excellent, she's wonderful. I followed everything she said. Keep walking in a squat, keep squatting, keep training, keep going. And I went through that whole routine. As soon as Helena reached 37 weeks, I started every day. I would spend half an hour walking in the squat, squatting and swaying my hips, swaying and swaying. Because she explains that for the baby to be born, it's as if they're like a little screw, right? That goes down and down. And you always have to be preparing your hips to help the baby come out. You need to prepare the way, right? So I started doing that, and it was exceptional. I would say that natural childbirth created for me a very strong connection and bond with Helena for two reasons. First, because as soon as she was born, the doctor-me obstetrician took Helena out of me and placed her on top of me. And right there she stayed cozy and warm for at least half an hour with the umbilical cord still attached. Then the cord was cut, the pediatrician was already in the delivery room, so he did all those little exams that need to be done on the baby. Everything went well. She came back to me and I had what they call the golden hour, right? That golden hour. She nursed She stayed there cozy, snuggled up with me. We stayed there like that for about an hour before going to the room, and it was wonderful. I say it was respectful both for me and for her. My husband was with us, he was there for everything, and it was emotional. Of course, there are mothers who need to have a C-section, but nowadays when you choose a humanized birth, even a C-section is included in that, okay? You can make your birth plan nicely and describe there what the conditions are, how the environment should be, and choose the team. This is your moment. Be the protagonist of it and set how you want it to happen, okay? Don't just let anyone decide for you. Set it out, look, I want it to happen like this, like this, like this, like this. Define your birth plan. This is the law, okay? Yeah, I also think it's really great that recovery from a natural birth is much faster, right? Since I didn't have a support network, I was discharged the next day. Helena was born. She was born at 5:30 in the morning, and I was discharged the next day. Everything went well. We went to the room. I did feel pain, yes, and I had a few stitches. The nurses were super kind. They would bring me frozen pads that helped soothe the area, reducing the swelling because I had a lot of stitches. Since Helena was chubby and strong when she was born, so I ended up needing stitches. But there was a small tear, okay? That's something I need to let you know. Sometimes a tear can happen, all right? But aside from that, everything was fine. I saw the obstetrician and she did the stitches. The stitches dissolved, they fall out on their own, so there was no problem with that. It was really smooth. So that's it, guys. It's a respectful birth for you and your baby. I really suggest that you look up information about natural childbirth online. If you can find it right here on YouTube, there should be clips, right? Shorts, as they call them, from the documentary that talks about the rebirth of childbirth. It's really great for us to also understand the importance of this moment when the baby arrives. Okay? It's a little person who's coming. It's your moment. Live it as intensely as you can. Okay? Kisses. Bye-bye.